thinking about selling your home and buying a new home at the same time, you might want to watch this first. In this video, we talk about how I not only helped a family sell their home for $22,000 over asking price, but also find their new home despite the fact that it all almost came apart 5 days prior to closing. My name is Deontay Lawrence, here in the most magical place on the planet, Orlando, Florida, and I've helped over 100 plus families buy and sell homes in the Central Florida area simply by specializing in putting specific game plans together to help the buying and selling process go as smooth as possible for them. The truth is, trying to buy and sell a home at the same time is a balancing act, and one small thing can throw the entire thing off. That's why putting a very specific plan together is paramount to make sure you don't hit any pitfalls. And despite the fact that you put this carefully curated plan together, pitfalls seem to come from any direction. And here's how we were able to get around this pitfall that we faced despite this game plan that we put together for this family. Now, if you're planning to sell and buy at the same time, check the description below. I have my free seller's guide for you to download and just take in and see how we're able to put a specific plan in place for you and your family, whether that's pricing, whether that's staging, whether that's timing. That seller guides cover it all, and it's all there for you in the description below for free. So this particular family was referred to me by a previous realtor that I have known, and as you know, or you may not know, that is a huge honor because us realtors are very, very particular in who we refer our clients to. So it was an extreme honor for them to trust me in the process. So this family had purchased a home through the chaos of COVID, and quite frankly felt like they were rushed into the home that they were in, and they just wanted more space and to move. However, their problem was they were looking at homes in their neighborhood that were sitting in the market. So they were concerned, hey, Deontay, we want to buy and move, but it appears that these properties in our neighborhood are not selling. So part of our strategy session was to see why these homes were not selling and how we could uniquely position our property so that it would sell. So the data showed that the homes that were in their neighborhood, the reason why they weren't selling is because they were overpriced. And in this 2025 market, if a home is overpriced, it is a death sentence. It will sit. So I had to have that truthful meeting with them to let them know, hey, we are going to have to price our home very competitively. And what that means by competitively is we're going to have to put it below market value to attract as many buyers as possible so we can create our own unique bidding war. And that's exactly what we did. Now, put that on pause. We also at the same time had to identify the how, what, where, and why of the new property that they wanted to buy. Get them pre-approved and have that all lined up at the same time. Because when you're buying and selling, everything has to run directly together. So I got them pre-approved with my lender to make sure they were good to go on that. We identified a number of properties that we liked. We set the expectations in regards to, hey, if we see this property, we don't have time to wait. We need to go under contract. So at this point, everything was moving smoothly, guys. We got 4 offers, okay? 4 offers that ultimately ended in the final offer that was accepted, $22,000 over asking price, okay? So our strategy worked to a T, people. We had everything staged properly. They kept their house very clean. We did do a pre-listing inspection to make sure we were aware of the repairs that needed to be done, and we actually did them prior to. So for this home, they needed some plumbing that needed to be done, as well as some electrical. And the reason why you want to do a pre-listing inspection like this is because you want to hire your professionals to make sure that is done correctly. Because if you go under contract, not only can it hold up the process because you guys are negotiating back and forth, but it can also cause you to pay more money, right? Because the buyer's contractor may cost more. So because we did all these things up front, had their home ready to show, had it priced very attractively, we are able to, garner a lot of eyes on the property, a lot of buyers for offers, which we created that bidding war, and we were able to ultimately get $22,000 over asking. And at the same time, guys, within that 7-day window of going under contract of the home that we were selling, we found their home that they absolutely love. So everything was going perfect. We were like, they were like, Deontay, this is too good to be true, until I get a call 5 days before closing. And as a realtor, if you get a call, and this was on a weekend, so if you get a call from the agent on the other side 5 days before closing, you know something's up. So the buyer had financing, and it was down payment assistance. So with this down payment assistance, the issue was the lender wasn't, I would say, completely descriptive in how this worked. And the down payment assistance portion of the loan held everything up because it was very archaic. They send the check with the down payment assistance, and we had to wait 10 additional days before this closed. So the problem with this was that we were already ready to close on the house that we were buying. They needed to sell this house to purchase this home. So you can imagine the feelings that the sellers had. So what we were able to do, I was able to go back to the buyer's agent, negotiate my seller to get some additional money, because they were going to stay in the home pretty much 3 additional weeks, paying another month of mortgage, having more holding costs. So we wanted to cover that to make it work. So we extended the home that we were going to be selling. We ended up closing on the home that we're buying. And luckily, if you guys didn't know this, when you purchase a home, you typically have 30 to 45 days before your first mortgage hits. So even though it was very tight and very anxious, the home that we were selling, we were still able to close in that 3-week extension. So the heart was definitely beating on that one, but we got it done. Listen, if you're looking to sell and buy at the same time, go ahead to the description below and download my free seller's guide that gives you a step-by-step framework on how to do just that, okay? And if you're curious how I was able to help one of my families relocate by selling their home here and buying a brand new home in another state, check out this next video and you'll see how teamwork and a proper game plan is the magic pill to make it happen.